Welcome to my top 5 favorite gods in Smite. Now I don't want you to think this was easy. I had 75 options to select out of, and I had to narrow it down to my 5 favorite. Now number 1 may be easy if you've watched my channel for any length of time, but the rest? You'll have to wait and see as I walk you through some gameplay, builds, and the reasons why I love the other aforementioned gods in my top 5 that I'll be showcasing today. Now these aren't the best gods in Smite, they're just my favorite to play. Some are very good and some are very poor in terms of community perception, but I'll tell you why I love them and why I hope you grow to love them as well. Let's get on with it, shall we? Coming in at number 5 is RATATOSKR, the Sly Messenger. Now you might be saying, Raynday, what the heck? RATATOSKR is one of your favorite gods in Smite? I know, right? He's crazy. And even despite the fact that I can almost never pronounce this god's name correctly. Shout out to my man Sean Powers for always pointing out when I'm incorrectly pronouncing god's names. Thank you, buddy. I still love playing him. And here's why. Number 1, I love doing well with a god that people consider to be bad. I absolutely enjoy taking on the challenge, and I enjoy surprising people with great scores and great plays coming out from a god they think is worthless. And it's also a great confidence boost. I mean, if you can go 15-2 with RATATOSKR, I mean, you could do anything. It's like you could be president. You could ask the hottest girl out in your school right now. So yes, the insane amount of fun I have and the confidence that I get from doing well with Rat is one of the reasons why I love him. But I actually also love his kit. Now he's getting a rekit soon, and that means that he's no longer going to have the same features and abilities that he has currently in these video clips. But what I love most about his kit, and the thing I hope they keep the same, is the variation. You could play Rat in 4 different ways, and I absolutely love that. The Topaz and Sapphire Acorn get no love. Nobody plays them, and I found myself absolutely loving and destroying playing with these builds lately because no one knows how to play against them or what they do even. I mean, I bet there's a large amount of players who have never played with Topaz or Sapphire Acorn on RATATOSKR. I guarantee it. And in fact, that was me a little while ago. And I love the fact that now I'm playing with those 2 items exclusively, and it's a lot of fun. I've almost created a new character and gameplay experience from the same god, and I absolutely love that, and that's why he comes in at number 5 on my list. Oh yeah, and I'm a big fan of nuts. You know, almonds, cashews and stuff. Now my number 4 favorite god in Smite is Ravan, the Demon King of LANKA. Now at this point you guys may be saying, oh come on Raynday, you talk trash about Ravan in your why OP god releases are good for Smite video. You said he was trash, you said nobody liked him. And that's the truth. I did say that, and not a lot of people did like him on release. However, I was playing devil's advocate in that video because I was one of the only people I remember really enjoying playing Ravan. Now my diamond Ravans, calm down, I know you loved him too, but I'm just talking about the majority of people on release considered him bad, and he wasn't that great. But that's not why I loved him. I loved his kit and style of play. He was one of the first gods I ever played in Smite that made me feel like I was playing a game altogether in its own, like a fighting game all of a sudden in a MOBA. And maybe for some of you that wouldn't have been a big turn on, but for me it got me going because I absolutely love fighting games, and I'm a very big fan of the esports fighting game scene. Ravan's overhead kick is actually a direct reference to Guile's flash kick from Street Fighter. For me, Ravan is one of those characters that's easy to learn but hard to master, and he takes a lot of practice to learn the subtleties of how to use his abilities to their maximum benefit. I mean, a well-timed overhead kick can get you out of an Ares ult, a Kukulkan ult, absolutely anything if you know and are prepared for what players are going to do to you. Ravan can kind of do it all at this point. After he got his buffs, he could slow people a ridiculous amount, root them, he could use his overhead kick to catch up to them, or his ultimate to do an insane amount of damage and crash land onto them only after they've jumped away thinking they're safe. And he can also use that ultimate to escape himself. He's got ways to initiate, to escape, to stay in a fight, and again, all the while giving me that visceral feeling like I'm in the action, and I absolutely love that about this character. And that's why he's number 4 on my list. Now my number 3 favorite god in Smite is Freya, Queen of the Valkyries. Now I love Freya, guys, and if you've watched my channel recently, you know I just put up a how to play Freya where I go 19-1 with the character. I absolutely love this god because of her snowball potential and the amount of damage and control that she has as a mage. Freya is a god that if she gets rolling can be considered one of the deadliest hyper carries in the game, even more so than Kali because she can do her damage at range while slowing you, and with Fatalis making it almost impossible for you to even catch up to her for unless you have some type of jump or escape that you want to use closing the gap. Now, it goes without saying that I love the fact that Freya can snowball, has that huge late game power potential, and can be almost unkillable in a 1v1 if she plays it right. But Big Daddy Raynday also loves him some CC, and Freya's Banish is a really nice way to set up your 2 or to just escape from opponents and put them in a bad position. Now, I also love ultimates on gods that give them CC immunity, which means that I don't have to worry about buying beads as long as I play smart. Of course, if I have beads, that's just extra security, but a god like Ares isn't a direct counter to most of my favorite gods. In fact, all of my favorite gods have an ultimate that can get them out of hard CC, and that may be a trend you guys are noticing in the gods that I like to pick up and play. And Freya is no exception. Her ultimate is a fantastic finisher, but not only that, you can get out of sticky situations and buy yourself a little bit more time for your teammates to help you, all the while doing a ton of sick nasty damage. The other reason I like Freya is because she's simple. You 2, you hit your 1 sometimes you throw your 3 out in a certain situation, and of course you use your ultimate if they're getting away or you need to escape. It's like there's very little complications about her, and the builds are straightforward for her. A lot of times when I get on and play Freya, I'm just looking for that simplistic Smite experience where I can kill things and not have to think too much about it. And if she's the type of Moscato you want to be sipping on, go ahead and check out my video how to play Freya on my channel. Almost at number 1, but before that, we've got my number 2 favorite god in Smite, and that is CHRONOS, the Keeper of Time. Now, CHRONOS does a couple of things that I absolutely love. 1, he is one of the most dangerous hyper carries in Smite if he gets going. But 2, he has a lot of variability, like I love from RATATOSKR, hopefully I said that right, but not like Freya, where she's very simple. He has a unique kit that takes a lot of focus, takes a lot of awareness and experience to really utilize him well. And when you do utilize him well, there's the big payoff at the end. I think that's why I love a lot of the gods in this list, because you work for something and you work very diligently to get to a certain point to where at the end of the game you can control your fate. If you play well enough with any of these gods, you can decide a team fight, and that is what I love, especially about CHRONOS. The thing that makes CHRONOS so deadly is his rewind, in my opinion. Yes, of course, with Polynomicon late game, his basic attacks will hit you for 400 to 700 damage, but the thing is, if he gets going and kills 1 or 2 of you, he can almost be like Kali, where he hits his rewind offensively to reset all of his abilities, health, and mana, and basically attack the rest of the team with full force again. But I also love playing CHRONOS simply for the challenge that it brings. His kit is very intricate and it's very complex to begin with, and so I really love mastering gods that have this type of challenge around them, especially when you complete the challenge, you get the results of having him be such a beast late game. And you know I'm about that F7 life, baby, so when I have CHRONOS on my side, I feel like I can do anything. Even if we're losing, I feel like I can come back if I play it the right way, and that always helps to give me hope in my CHRONOS games. And if you want to see some of the sexiest CHRONOS play I've ever seen, Lasses SPL Season 3 NA Team Allegiance vs Denial Game 2. Amazing stuff. And now, my number 1 favorite god in Smite of all time is Anhur, the Slayer of Enemies. Now, if you know me, you already knew this answer, but let me explain it in depth because I don't know if I have before. I love Anhur from a guttural place, a place deep inside of me. He just feels right. You know, there are some gods in your life that you play in Smite that are just going to connect with how you view the game and how you want to go about impacting it in your own way. Anhur is that for me. But why do I love Anhur so much? What makes him the cream of the crop in my Smite god selection? I think it's a combination of a couple of things. One, Anhur's ability to take care of himself. Again, I like gods that can basically do it all and don't have to rely on other things besides their kit. Anhur has CC immunity in his ultimate, he's got a jump to get away, a knockback to disrupt fights, but he's also got a slow and a really cool spacer in the form of his number 1, his obelisk. And while all those things are amazing, the reason I really love him is his impale. It's one of the best feelings in Smite, stunning somebody into a wall when they're trying to attack you and just being like, yeah, take that. But I also love Anhur's high skill cap, meaning that when you throw up your obelisk and you impale someone into it, there's no chance involved in that. If you do it once, great, but if you consistently can pull that off, then you know you are a good Smite player, and that's one of the things I love about this god. One of the beautiful things about doing this list was I got to look at what gods I really loved and why I love them, and in a way that gave me more introspection about why I love to play the game of Smite and what it brings to me, what specific gods, characters, and kits activate some part of me that I enjoy most. You see, the interesting thing that happened for me when I decided to do this list based on your guys' request was I ended up seeing that all the gods I picked had a way to kind of get out of trouble themselves and to control a game if I did the right thing. And then it hit me. That's what I value in life. I want to control my own destiny. I want to be able to get where I want to go and do what I want to do as long as I put the right work in. And as a result, I love gods that have the ability to do that themselves. I don't want to be trapped, a victim of somebody else's play. I want to count on myself. And so I naturally lean to gods with CC immune ultimates and the ability to carry a game. Now, what are your top 5 gods and what do you like? What do you value? That's a question you'll have to ask yourself. But these are mine, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and of course a like, share, comment, and a subscribe to the channel would be an amazing way to support me and this content right here at Raynday Gaming. As always guys, remember to never give up, never stop gaming, and of course, I'll see you guys next time.